Did you know over 6 million children in the United States have a homosexual parent? LGBTQ parenting is becoming more and more common every day. The 2010 United States Census showed that by that year, over 2 million children had a homosexual parenting. Later, in 2017, the UCLA University of Law made a report that showed that number increased to over 6 million children in the country.
The attitudes of the Americans about homosexual parents have changed over the recent past. This therefore means that a majority of these parents feel more accepted by society and are optimistic about what the future holds for them in relation to their sexual orientation. Sexual orientation relates to an individual object of romantic or sexual desire or attraction mainly focused on the same sex. In this project, we will talk about different points of view about homosexual parenting. We will talk about religion, society acceptance, about different delivery options, and about how does it affect the kid.
The belief of poor mental health in kids with homosexual parents has been demystified by an Australian study performed in the University of Melbourne. Researchers discovered that children with LGBTQ mothers or fathers had an equal amount of self-esteem and they spent as much quality time with their families than kids with heterosexual parents. In the contrary, investigators found that these kids tend to be happier, healthier, and have a better family unit. They demonstrate these infants do as well as other kids in terms of adjustment, relationship, functioning, and well-being in general, and that these kids did not have any differences or disadvantages in terms of depression, in terms of anxiety, or self-esteem. So there exists more investigations in lesbian couples than there actually is in gay couples, and it shows that kids with lesbian couples tend to have a better level of academic, social, and overall competence, and they have had less aggression and they showed less behavioral problems than their peers. So a child and adolescent psychotherapist in California made a research, and he also showed that LGBTQ parents offer an equally caring and loving environment for their kids as heterosexual parents do. And he reveals that no study has found kids of homosexual couples to be disadvantaged in any aspect of their lives. So, although kids of homosexual parents adjust as well as other kids in their environment, the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry shows that these children can face, or these families in general, can face a lot of challenges. Even though they can adjust well, they can be victims of discrimination or bullying in their communities. In the past few years, there has increased a lot. There has been a very significant increase in the hate crimes to these communities, especially when they live in unfriendly or very conservative communities. So this changes, or this bullying, is what really could affect the children. And besides the exterior bullying or the exterior comments or attacks, there's no research that shows any differences between the heterosexual and homosexual families, and there's actually no evidence that the parents' sexual orientation could affect the children's life.
The studies have estimated that there are about 9 million children who have at least one parent who is gay or lesbian in the United States. According to a survey done in the year 2000, there was about 594,000 households with the same-sex partners, and about 27% of them had children living with them. However, today obtaining accurate information related to the number of same-sex parents families is not easy. This is due to the fact that a majority of gay men as well as lesbian fear disclosing their sexual orientation. Over a long period, this type of sexual orientation were not largely accepted. Therefore, if they disclose their sexual orientation, they're likely to get discriminated, and this may lead to lose a job, physical abuse, or even lose the child custody rights. It is also worth to note that there has been an increase in the same-sex parenting due to an increase in the options that are available for couples who are of the same sex to become parents. According to recent studies, children who are raised by two mothers or two fathers are very similar with those who are raised by heterosexual parents. The study have further indicated that the sexual orientation, behavioral adjustments, average grade points, emotional functioning are similar to that of other children. The study indicated that such kids are compassionate, resilient, and tolerant and are more likely to talk about difficult topics compared to children who are raised in a heterosexual family setting. However, in another study it was evident that such family settings go through various challenges, including social stigma, non-supportive extended families, and non-acceptance from society. These unions, therefore, have to live in cultures that tend to support heterosexual families. Another great challenge is that most children in such unions are from previous marriage. The homosexual parents have to deal with disagreements from the other family members concerning the validity as well as the authenticity of the patterns of the family. The family system can also experience distress as well as conflicts when the other biological parents do not support their children. Today, various therapists have specialized in issues related to gays as well as lesbians. These specialists offer service to these families and they're always non-judgmental. The homosexual parents and their families receive therapeutic support, guidance, as well as recognition that they're not likely to receive from the general social settings. This has enabled these families to live comfortably and their unions are being accepted by society. There have been many organizations that have been established to fight for the rights of these members. Their widespread campaign has led to a decline in the social stigma that is associated with homosexual parenting, and the children have been able to blend effectively with the others in society.
Hi guys, my name is Zarruk and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about homosexual parenting within religion. Now when it comes to homosexual parenting within religion, it's pretty hard to actually make a conversation start. Why? Because most religions do not accept homosexuals at all. So imagine not accepting homosexual in general. Now give homosexual parenting, as in there's a child involved. In some cases, for example, Christianity accepts you as a whole person and are welcome with open arms. The thing is, within that welcoming, they are always observing your actions. So now, if you are, for example, a full Christian, you've been welcomed, open arms, and you decide that one day you and your partner want to have a child. Obviously, you guys can't or they won't because they'll be the same gender, and you need opposite gender to create a child, to conceive a child. In this case, they'll go to the alternative, but they consider that as a sin. Why? Because God had a purpose, and for them, God's purpose was that whenever He put man and women on this earth, it was to be in that order, man and women. He never said man with man or women with women. Now, there are other organizations that they do accept a homosexual parenting because they think that it's the way they were born, it's the way they should be, and everyone should be accepted by the way they are. There's conservative Jewish movements, there's Reformed Jewish movement, Society of Friends. There's several things that help you with it. But yet again, traditionally those traditional religions such as Christianity, Catholicism, and all those top ranked religions, those are the most strict ones that there is. That's why it's always a constant battle when it comes to homosexual parenting. Why? Because they've always been in a straight line. It's never moved up, it's never moved down. Now, in this year, 2019 to 2020, there has been more movement for growth when it comes to homosexuals. Now, religion-wise, it has been the same. It's always been the same, and hopefully there's changes coming through, but so far it's neutral.
There are many delivery options for LGBT couples. One of them can be to adopt, or to foster. There are private agencies and public ones. The public ones are from the government. There are a lot of states that allow this same-sex couple adoption or fostering. For the private ones, it's a little bit different. They're a little bit more complicated with this situation, but there are some private ones that they allow. There are focus on LGBT couples or same-sex couples. The prices to adopt or foster range between $2,000 or until $50,000. This is a very common option for these couples, and it's a very long process or a very quick one, depending on the case. There's another way to do it also. You can either choose artificial insemination or in vitro fertilization. With artificial insemination, you can basically when they inseminate sperm into the cervix, so they can fertilize an egg. And the in vitro fertilization is basically they inseminate the egg in a laboratory, and after that they insert it in the cervix, so the person will be already pregnant. It's a little bit more expensive. This can cost from $6,000 to $60,000. Some insurance cover part of it, but not all of it. So this is another way that same-sex couples can deliver a baby. There's another way to do it, which is to find a surrogate. This person will carry the baby for you, but you also need an egg donor to do this. It's a very complicated process. It's very regulated, and a lot of states don't think this is legal, so they don't allow it in some of the states. It's a very costly procedure. It can range from $80,000 to $140,000 depending on the case. But this way, they have different options. Like, they know what's the background of the egg donor and the sperm. They can know if the person, or the education, the background, ethnicity, medical history from family. This is another way to do it. It's a little bit more complicated, but it's another way. It's a very rough path for gay couples and their children when they try to raise a family here in the United States, because there's a lot of humiliation, discrimination, and problems in a lot of states due to laws, but little by little they're trying to change all this, and it's been working.
To conclude on our topic about homosexual parenting, we've discussed several aspects on how homosexual parenting takes place, such as religion. We know that religion is an ongoing battle that stays at a neutral pace. We know that there's organizations and religion that either approve or deny of said actions when it comes to homosexuality and parenting a child within that relationship. Also, we have the outcome of said child, whether it affects him in present times or future times. Will he have a successful life at the end of the day? And we also have universities disproving that fact.